With that, we've moved this item, Neighborhoods Commission Champion, after the fire department, and it is, I don't know the number, but it's item A here.
7A.
7A, thank you. It's now got a new number, but that's fine. So purpose here, consistent with the agenda items, bubbling up ideas, is to have folks take on champion roles, bite-sized projects. They're not ad hoc committees. They're not things that we need to vote on as part of our work plan. They're targeted, quick, like get in, get out type projects of interest to the person, something that they're passionate about, and then something that the commission itself is interested in learning more about and taking time to review. So if you have a topic like that, I encourage you to bring it, ask for it to be agendized, bring it to Sabrina, you bring it to me, but we want to get those bubbling up, and we will certainly look at those as part of the work plan. With that, Commissioner Fleming has a passion for high-speed rail and has graciously, we ran out of time last time, and graciously moved to this time slot to give an overview of an idea he has. The action here is to approve the topic and the champion, and to approve, if you will, Jonathan's taking this on as a topic that the commission will then hear about more later in the future. With that, Commissioner Fleming.
Thank you. So, does everybody know about the high-speed rail that is coming here? Fantastic. So, I sit on the community working group for that high-speed rail. I've been sitting on it for the past year, and we meet once a month, and we discuss impacts to the neighborhoods. We discuss what's going to happen, how it's going to be built, different scenarios, if it's going to follow this way, or if it's going to follow this geographical area, where it's going to go, what the impacts are to those neighborhoods. So some of those impacts have been, sorry, I'm ignoring people over here to my right, I apologize. Some of those impacts have been that there's going to be 160 homes and 160 businesses that are going to be eliminated as a result of this high-speed rail, should they follow one course of action as opposed to another. You know, some of this will be that even more homes than those 160, they're going to be impacted in that they lose land. They're going to lose their backyards, or the streets that they drive home on. They're going to be gone. Some people are going to lose sunlight. Some people are going to have fierce vibrations running through their neighborhood. Noise, train whistles, just the rumbling of a train running at 100 miles an hour plus in their neighborhood. So all I wanted to do was make sure that the Neighborhood Commission was informed and updated at every single one of those meetings as to what happened, what occurred. I don't imagine it'll take much longer than 5 minutes each one of the meetings. And that's essentially it. Just so we have a liaison from the Neighborhoods Commission that is there to inform the public, and also to form that communication back and forth from the state to the commission, really to the city council, and vice versa. So with that, I'm going to make my official motion here.
I'm sorry, I need to ask a clarifying question. When you say a liaison, what is it that you mean exactly?
So I'd be sitting on that board, on that working group, as a commissioner.
Unfortunately, you cannot do that. I had to check with the city attorney's office, but because it's a third-party entity, it would require a council appointment for you to be officially designated as a liaison.
Okay.
You could be a champion internally for this group, but you cannot speak as a commissioner at the working group.
That's fine. So I can still go to those meetings, come back with a report,
Yes.
and give that report to the
that's
commission?
Totally fine.
Perfect. That's fine with me.
But you can't represent yourself as a city entity to them and say, I'm speaking on behalf of the commission.
Right.
Outside. Oh, that's
I got it.
okay.
It's okay with me. So with that, then, I'll make unless there's other clarifying questions here. John?
I just have a clarifying question. I know the neighborhood's ramifications was a big issue, whether it was going to be a dual bore or a single bore. Has that been decided? Because the ramifications of
That's
it.
part.
No, but even the light rail, they were talking about possibly going underground. Anyway, we can talk that offline because I think that has ramifications. I mean, you're aware of what I'm speaking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they
So
go
it's
above
not
ground
foreign.
or below ground, it's
Yeah.
going to change
Right.
everything.
So that's not just BART.
Absolutely. Any other
Does that fall within the scope of this commission?
transportation?
Yeah, does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to be sure we don't take on more things. Look at how short we are today. We
No, I
don't
know.
even listen to
I
John.
know.
to
No, I know.
Commissioner last time.
I know. It's within, yeah. Does anyone think it's not in scope? Okay. All right. Good. Is there a motion?
Yes. So I'll make a motion that the Neighborhoods Commission approve a champion effort to establish myself as the well, not a liaison anymore, but as somebody to sit in on high-speed rail meetings and report back to the commission on the high-speed rail project with the goal of providing two-way communications between state officials and our residents through this commission.
Second.
Wait a second, hold on, what? Go back? Can you read it again?
Yes. So I'll motion that the Neighborhoods Commission approve a champion effort to establish myself as a individual to sit on the working group, which I'm already currently on, to establish and ensure that there is communication back and forth between the state officials, so the project that we're working on, and our residents, so that they're up to date on what's happening through the commission.
So you would be speaking on behalf of the commission? is what it sounds like.
No.
Cannot talk for the commission.
Isn't that what you just said?
No.
Saying you're communicating back and forth. That means you would be communicating to us what is occurring, and you're communicating whatever we say here back
So-
to them.
You can narrow it to just being a champion for this commission, which allows you to continue going to meetings anyway.
Sure. Sure, I mean, I was doing communication from the state to the residents, and not from the residents back to the state.
But the state is out of our scope. I mean, we've got nothing to do with the state.
So I'm taking public information, and I'm gonna just bring it right back here to make sure everybody's aware of it.
And what's outbound to those?
Nothing.
Well,
But that's what you said.
but you want to be,
I can't be a liaison, so I can't bring something back from this commission and speak as a commissioner at that working group.
Is your goal to bring the information here, let us know about it, and for us to bring it to our constituents in our district and let them know about it? Is that your goal?
Commissioner Barr had her-
very good point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's so sneaky. I always let you speak, I don't know, you so casually insert yourself there.
It's your second.
It's your second meeting. We're gonna let it slide. So if you can take that in order, Jonathan, or I can ask Commissioner Navarro. Your
Okay.
choice.
I can take Commissioner Wynn's. So you want to repeat that, her?
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thanks.
Super
I
polite.
won't do it again, Franklin.
Yeah.
We'll suppress you more.
So, is your goal to bring that information from that meeting to us, for us to disseminate ourselves to our constituents in our respective districts?
Absolutely.
So is that what you meant by your?
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Navarro.
2 questions. One, they already have a committee there. Would it be possible that we can assign a separate person, that way there's no kind of blurriness to the lines, that sits on that committee to come and report to us during public comment to keep us in the loop, instead of it being actually you, so that it doesn't seem kind of like, that we're treading.
So I'm already sitting on it. I've been sitting on it for over a year, so I don't think that's going to benefit this commission.
You can still sit on it, I'm not saying that you can't, but maybe possibly the person that actually does reporting on it could be someone else that sits on it, so that they're not actually in the commission, they're coming in as a public comment to keep us in the loop.
I think you're going to want more time. I mean, 2 minutes in public comment, which can be reduced to 1 minute. That's not enough to get everything that's in that meeting. Like I said, 5 minutes is what I'm going to shoot for. Sometimes, if it's going to take away somebody's home, maybe we need to speak about it longer.
Well, I don't know that we would speak about it. Oh, excuse me. Calling myself. Hold on. So let's get this resolved, and then we'll go to Commissioner Wilkins, then Commissioner Celeste.
And over here.
And Commissioner Lewski.
Well, input
Hold on,
may
hold
help
on.
with resolve this. Why-
You're good for now?
Well, I just want to know if there's a possibility that we can get someone else from that committee to come and report to us. I'm sure they'd be more than willing to, because I've also sat in
I
those
see.
committees.
That work plan. Oh,
And that would resolve any kind of gray area.
So you want somebody that's, so I'm already there, and I'm already here. And you want somebody that's not already here,
Right.
who is already there, to then burden them to come to this meeting as well.
I don't think it would be a burden, because their actual point is to get to the community. It is their responsibility. They're already doing that. It just would make it a lot more clear and transparent. And I know for a fact that some of those people that sit on committees would be more than happy to come and talk to us. They haven't, because it's a state issue. There's bonds and measures that go into play that we, as a city, it's a transportation issue, but we really can't move it along. They do that.
So your answer is, is it possible? Anything's possible.
Right.
If
Would you be
motion-
comfortable with someone else from that committee inviting them to come and speak?
This is something I've wanted to do for, since this commission began this year. So it's something very personal to me, it's something very important to me, something important to my residents and the residents in the district surrounding my district. So I want to be that person, that's why I've been brought out numerous times.
But if someone else reports it, you're getting everything accomplished and it's not as blurry.
In 2 minutes. So you're limiting that person to 2 minutes. I don't think that does justice.
So can we pause on the discussion? Is it, okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
Go ahead,
I want to
maybe
just
someone else.
let other people discuss. So in order, Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Celestia.
This isn't rocket science. We've been here an hour and a half listening to people on the agenda, and he's offered to be, as part of us, to give a couple minutes talk rather than drag somebody else here to stand up and take up more time. To me, it's a no-brainer. He's already on that. He's already on the commission. Give him his 5 minutes and let's be done with this.
Here.
It's like homelessness. This is one of the most impacted things that's going to hit this city, and he's offered to be a champion. Let's not get so scientific.
Hold on, comment when I'm recognized.
I'll take a deep breath.
Thanks. Commissioner Celestia.
Yeah, I think that, from what I understand of what a champion is, right, by the sort of the definition of what that is, it doesn't preclude the commission from inviting someone else from this committee to come in and provide additional information. And that may be beneficial just to the extent of getting an additional point of view from somebody who is looking at it from a different angle. So I don't see why we can't do both. Why you cannot be this champion, and when the commission feels it's necessary, right, to invite someone from that commission.
So let me give a little background here and why this was brought up as a champion effort. So I've asked staff, we have this little agenda request to have a presentation by High Speed Rail in this commission. I've asked it since September, and we still don't have it. We had a person from the state of California willing to come here and speak, and they're still not here. That's how we got to this champion effort.
Are they, perhaps there's just jurisdictional issues and concerns about waiting until we understand how it's going to impact us, and then when that's clear, then to have those conversations with those people at that.
So that person from the state of California, she runs that program. She's done these presentations numerous times, numerous different neighborhood
Well, I'm not exactly
associations.
sure who makes the decision about who comes to visit the commission.
But the
right?
point is, I've
But-
asked them.
But I don't think there's I think that everyone is actually agreeing that, yes, be the champion for this issue, fantastic. When needed, we can invite others to come in and have those conversations. Why can't we do both at the same time, I guess is my question.
Great point, thank you. In order, please correct me if this is not right. Lebowski, Hernandez, Samanek.
I'll go first. I think we're talking entirely too much about an issue, individual probably, because it's the first time we're going to have a champion role rather than something else, other than a subcommittee or otherwise. I think that every one of us should be a champion for something. Perhaps I'll pick one myself. I'd like for us to come to a vote soon. I'm not going to cut off conversation, but it's a little bit much. We have someone very interested in a particular area, quite qualified. There are others that can probably come in that can come and speak to us on that particular issue. But holy crap, let's get to a vote. Okay. All I have to say. Thanks.
Commissioner Hernandez.
The key word for me right now is personal. I would prefer for someone to be able to come and inform us and just give us the fact rather than personal feeling. So for that reason, I would say, Commissioner Fleming wants to continue because this is something that is close to his heart and he wants to continue to stay engaged. He can do that. I don't think that he necessarily needs to be the champion for that when we have the option of having someone coming in 2 minutes and giving us an update or providing us something in writing at every meeting and letting us know when it is a time that is an issue that is relevant to the scope of work of this commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Samanek.
Let me take an opportunity to remind everybody on this commission what our charter is. We talked about crime, safety, transportation, code enforcement, and the quality of life of our neighborhoods in the city. This light rail, or this rail system can affect at least 3 districts, maybe more ultimately, and maybe even more, depending on what happens with the final rollout. I think we should have speakers from there, but I think they're not going to come monthly to give us updates, whereas you as champion would do that. So let's move on. I can't emphasize enough. I talk about this all the time. We represent the neighborhoods. We represent the voice of the community, and they're not getting what they deserve. This is just as large, you might argue, as homelessness. Yeah, it's debatable. I understand that. But this is a very meaningful issue that's going to affect a lot of districts in our city. Let's move on.
Any other comments, discussion items? I've got a question. What's the thought around the time or the format of the output? Like, what would be, like, where on the agenda would it go under, like, ad hoc project progress? That's kind of the natural place for it.
Yeah, I think that's where it would go. It would fall right, at every meeting we've done a work plan update, so probably go right before that or in that work plan.
In that little grid?
Yeah.
Okay. And that would be, time sensitive, obviously, we want to be time sensitive now. Okay. Well, let's take a vote. So you're.
I'm sorry, you rephrased the motion.
Oh, excuse me, pardon me, Ed, excuse me, Ed Rast has a comment.
My
2
name's
minutes,
Ed Rast.
please. Thanks, Ed.
Okay, I was one of the people that basically came up with the concept of the neighborhood commission. Let me give you some background. And along with that, I happen to be United Neighborhoods representative on the high-speed rail. My background is I've got an MBA in accounting and finance, so I know budget. I worked since 1965 in transportation. I got a master's degree in it. I know a lot about it. So the other issue you're dealing with, if you try to get, right now, that work group that you have has a lot of people on it. Try to ask them to add another person to it and come in. You can have the person sit in the audience, but basically they're not going to probably add another one. The reason they didn't want to come here is because they don't know where they are right now. All the questions about BOR and all the other stuff, which I understand, they don't know where they are. The next meeting is going to be sometime in March, maybe even April, until they get their business plan put together. And they've got all sorts of problems financially right now. The state is going to do an audit on them, so they don't know where they're going to go. So try to bring somebody in who sits in the audience, and it takes forever to get up to speed on it. It's not going to work for you. If you want me to, I can basically come in. And the original concept of this, because I was on the group that put it together, was you're supposed to have other people in the community help you when you needed some help. And so, as far as I know, I'm probably the best qualified person in the city on this because of my background. But it's up to you on what you want to do.
Ed, thanks. Thanks.
Am I able to make a substitute motion, just in case the question doesn't?
So why don't we hear the original motion, and then let's see what about the motion. All right? Simplify the motion. Maybe
Or you say
simplify.
less words or more?
Less word, yeah, fewer words, yeah. Okay. Motion 1.
All right. So allow me to have the champion effort to report back on the meetings in the high-speed rail. Great.
Okay, as part of the ad hoc project. I'm not adding it to your motion, I'm just.
Well, point of clarification, this is not technically an ad hoc.
It's not.
Okay,
champion.
No,
Okay,
that's
so
the point
that's
is,
my
it's not an
point.
ad
You
hoc.
used the word ad hoc, this is not
I'm
an ad
seconding
hoc.
the motion.
Lebowski, sorry,
Keeping in
hold
mind
on.
that we have a volunteer that's willing and.
We have a motion on the floor.
Hold on. So what's the process with a motion? Did you have a
She has an
alternative motion? So is the process?
So
Ms.
my
Commissioner
substitute
Navarro.
motion would be that you can remain as, in your personal capacity to go over there, not representing the commission. But if we can reach out to the community with someone with great expertise that knows exactly what's going on with high-speed rail, for him, and if he's willing to accept, to come and report to us.
Why would we come to all these meetings?
He comes anyways, and he's very knowledgeable, and he knows so much more than he's awesome. I think that would be the best way to keep it transparent. So the motion is, can we appoint, I guess, would that be an appointment, or Ed Rast to be our alternate or liaison the report about the,
Can't do that.
high-speed
No,
rail.
no, 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 no.
Not a
So,
point, but what-
so your substitute motion is to not have a champion and have Ed Rath give an update.
a community champion.
A community champion give an
Community
update.
champion, come
Is
and
that what
report
you-
to that.
Is that what your motion
Yes,
is?
someone that's not on the commission, someone that's a community champion, that is aware about this high-speed rail project.
Okay, that's your substitute
Yeah.
motion. What's the process to,
You need seconds.
I need seconds on, so,
You seconded earlier.
Second is,
so that was the seconded motion. Can we take a substitute motion after it's been seconded?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just being,
Well, no, I'm
again,
just thinking.
thinking in real time here. There's a lot going on in all of our brains.
we vote on these first.
And we vote on each one separately?
Yeah.
We vote on,
First you get a second for that, Nick.
oh, excuse me, yes.
We did, we got a second.
We got a second from
Hernandez.
Commissioner Hernandez. So, do we vote on the substitute motion first? Or the- Sorry, Larry, no, I cannot call a friend. There's no like dial a friend option at the neighborhood commission. Take coaching from the choir, dear God. Commissioner Fleming, hold on.
Sometimes through
What's the
training.
vote?
Yeah, you vote on that.
So we take some. Okay, all right. Hold on. Can I take a comment from Commissioner Fleming?
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner Fleming?
Yes, the process would be, you're allowed 3 motions on the floor at any given time. So if somebody else wanted to add a third motion or a friendly amendment to a motion, they could do that. That's the official process.
Let's go for it, guys, come on.
Otherwise, you leave debate open so people can still ask clarifying questions and technical questions and allow debate to continue.
Okay,
So that's the process.
all right. Is there any further debate or any technical questions?
Technical question, I'm a little foggy. Shouldn't the first motion be voted on first versus the second?
No.
Or the other way
No,
around?
the other way around.
Aye.
Question?
Yes, Commissioner Fleming?
So, should our community champion be approved, would that person have just 2 minutes in open forum to speak, or would we give that person time in the actual agenda to speak?
Oh, that's a good question. Would 2 minutes be enough for you to report? And then if you have something in writing?
Realistically, somebody from the commission ought to be your representative. I can back them up.
Okay,
That
So,
would
yeah.
be really what you want to do.
2 minutes would be enough, and then you can, if there's anything in writing, that we can distribute immensely.
Can I clarify that? Was 2 minutes enough for you, Ed, or do you need more
I
time?
can give you 2 minutes, but you're not going to cover it enough.
So it's not enough time?
Not enough time.
Okay, so it's not enough time. So,
The issue you're dealing with is extremely complex, and it's going to affect a lot of neighborhoods if we don't deal with it right. And it's, I could write a report on the thing, or give you the minutes of this thing, but to be able, the question again is, on public comment, you can't, I guess you can ask me questions, but then, it's going to go around and around, and you're going to spend a lot of time on it. So,
Thank you, Ed, thank you.
yeah.
That would help.
Oh, so, time out, time out. So, I think Olivia, Commissioner Navarro, did you?
So then 5 minutes wouldn't be enough either. By that, the council.
You could probably get a lot of it in 5 minutes. Again, the issue you're going to run up against is commissioners are going to have questions. It's a very complex topic. And it's going to be, it is probably going to, more so than anything, change San Jose.
And we're gonna move on. Thank you, Commissioner Rock. So, 5 minutes, regardless of who does it, it's not gonna be enough time, but it's something. Okay, Commissioner Nguyen? We really have to move off this, not time to stifle, we gotta, go
Yeah.
ahead,
So this champion is just gonna act for the duration, for the remainder of
through
this, right?
June.
Five
Through June.
meetings.
yeah, exactly.
Commissioner
Yeah,
Walewski?
great. Would you be willing to work with that in whatever capacity that you can work together? If we vote on your motion and your motion passes and you have trails?
Oh, absolutely. So you're saying that should Navarro's fails and mine is approved?
Yeah.
Work with Ed? Yeah, I'll work
Yeah.
with Ed.
You'd be cooperative.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty smart, so I
He
think
is.
that would help.
Good.
Okay,
So
so
just
just
for
for point
I'd
of
love for us to vote.
clarification, can you
Let's
vote for
do
Hold
both?
on, hold on, time out,
Let's
time
move
out,
on.
hold on.
Yes, you can.
Thank you, hold on. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
You had a, Commissioner, it was Summit, no?
No, I'm good. I'm just waiting for my vote.
Commissioner Schlesson,
I'm good.
can you vote on both? You can vote on both. That-
Mhm.
Dear God.
I think it's.
Anything else?
I just wanted to call the vote.
Calling a vote. Thank you.
I didn't want to call it.
Okay, the first vote is for the substitute motion. And correct me if we're there's been a lot going on. So the substitute motion is from Commissioner Navarro, and it is to have a representative from this high-speed rail organization that Jonathan's a member of come and update the commission for anywhere from 2 minutes of public comment to 5 minutes as part of an agendized review. And, nope, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no.
Was that is your agenda? Well,
I didn't say
so-
anything, he did.
Okay,
I was
this
listening.
is your motion?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Less words, more.
And turn in minutes if necessary, something in writing to distribute to
Oh,
all.
and distribute in writing. Okay, let me just recap what the motion is, just one more time. You had a comment, and I want to make sure.
Yeah. So Sabrina, I thought she just said that we can't have a member of the public speak. You know, 5 minutes for Ed wouldn't be allowed. It would have to be 2 minutes for public comment. Was that
Unless he
correct?
was agendized as a presenter,
Okay.
otherwise.
Okay, so the substitute motion is no champion, and we have a member of this commission, presumably Ed Rast, come and present to the commission as part of public comment for up to 2 minutes or agendized for up to 5 minutes. Right.
Yes.
Okay, good, but I mean, that's.
I was like, I
yeah.
don't know.
Okay,
if that
good.
was the motion.
All in favor? All in favor is Commissioner Wynn, Commissioner Celestin, Commissioner Navarro, Commissioner Hernandez. Okay. Abstentions? Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Cunningham. Noes? Commissioner Andreas, Commissioner Fleming, Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Kolstad, Commissioner Hinman, Commissioner Samanek, Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Martin, and Commissioner Lebowski. The vote for the original motion carries. We have a champion for.
No, we got to vote on
Oh,
it.
Gotta vote on it.
That failed.
that failed.
That motion failed, now you
That
can go
motion
back to
failed.
the first
Excuse me.
one.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. It's late.
Commissioner Lebowski wanted to make an amendment
We,
to it.
let's, can we just
said
vote
for
on
now.
it?
No, Commissioner Lebowski's head's
No,
about to
I've-
explode.
I've had my-
Okay.
Just make
I've
sure,
had my-
because that's what I heard him say.
Okay, so the vote on the substitute motion fails. Okay, great. Going back to the first motion. Commissioner Fleming serves as a champion, and he serves as reporting to our commission as part of the ad hoc updates on the latest happenings at the high-speed rail community organization that he serves on. Yes? Is that sufficient?
That's good.
Okay. All in favor? Commissioner Fleming, Commissioner Wynn, Commissioner Celestin, Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Kolstad, Commissioner Hinman, Commissioner Samanek, Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Cunningham, Commissioner Martin, Commissioner Lebowski. Abstentions? Noes? Commissioner Navarro. And Hernandez, excuse me.
Did you vote?
I did not vote, I abstained. Sorry. And that vote carries. So Commissioner Fleming will serve as the champion. We will explore how that works for us as a commission, and we'll look forward to those comments and presentations.
Recognize one final comment.
Yes, sir.
Hope it all goes quicker than this, and I hope you work with Ed Raz, because he's really bright
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can add a lot.
Great
Well, I'm
point.
looking forward to that.
Great.